Welcome to Chamber Exchange, a TV show. My name is Tim Murray, President and CEO of the Worcester Regional Chamber of Commerce. And Chamber Exchange, a TV show, is an opportunity for us to have on chamber member guests, as well as others in the community who are focused on economic development and strengthening the central Massachusetts ecosystem on a variety of fronts. And the show happens because of our sponsors, which is Bank Hometown and St. Vincent Hospital. And one of the individuals who is leading the effort to be has been our sponsor of the show is Rob Morton, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Bank Hometown. Rob, welcome back.
Thank you, Tim. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. Well, we were talking a little bit before we jumped on, but maybe for our viewers, just a little recap of Bank Hometown and some stuff that happened over the last couple of years that's allowed the bank to kind of stay very focused locally, but to be able to do a little bit more financially.
Yeah, well, not to get too technical, but a little to that. So Bank Hometown is one of three banks of the Hometown Financial Group. And Bank Hometown is basically in Central Mass and Northeast Connecticut, and I'm the president and CEO. We have 15 locations, and we're about $1.6 billion. To the west, we have Bank ESB. They're about a $2 billion bank. And then to the west, we have, right now it's called North Shore, but we're going to rebrand that bank to True North Bank, and that is approximately 20 locations, about $3.3 billion. So collectively, we're a $7 billion organization, but by allowing the separate banks to kind of do what they do in their market, we still have that approachability, that responsiveness, that community bank feel. So we like to say it's the best of both worlds, where the large organization allows us to afford the technology like the big banks can, but we still, like I said, have the heart and soul, the approachability, the responsiveness of a true local community bank.
And with that $7 billion in resources, probably two more lending or bigger projects, et cetera.
Well, to your point, we just hired a gentleman by the name of Scott Sanborn that will be our Chief Commercial Lending Officer across all three banks. And Scott's experience and expertise is in that what we call middle market lending, which is the bigger companies. We do a great job with consumer, retail, small business, and we do a pretty good job with the larger commercial, but we see that as our next opportunity and evolution as we see other banks merging, whether it's Berkshire merging with Brookline or Rockland acquiring Enterprise. We see an opportunity for us to kind of step into this market that there'll be a little bit of turmoil as a result of that.
Got it. Well, it's this time of year. We're in the holiday season upon us, and that usually means that Bank Hometown takes kind of its community-oriented work to the next level. I mean, you're doing stuff year-round, and occasionally we get to talk about that on the show, but particularly around the holiday season, you've got a lot of irons in the fire. Yeah,
well, to your point, this gets back to why it's important to support community banks, right? And no disrespect to the big banks, they do support, but they'll typically write a check. Tim Garvin will get a nice big check at the United Way, which is important, and he'll do good things with it. But community banks are in the trenches, right? We're physically volunteering, we're in the neighborhoods, and we're trying to make a difference on a very more surgical, I guess, basis. One of those programs is Neighbors Helping Neighbors, which in the month of October, we reach out to our commercial customers and our customers in general, and we ask them to make a monetary donation, which we then match dollar for dollar, up to a $2,500 donation. And we raised around $70,000 this year. We're close to $1 million from a historical, but then we cut a check to the local food pantries. So like Trish over at Friendly House, we cut her a check, and then St. John's. And then there's a variety of other pantries throughout our footprint. So so that's a organization that's near and dear to our heart.
You also have the charitable giving charitable giving under the Giving Tree program.
Yeah, no, thank you for reminding me that. Yeah, so all these efforts are under our charitable giving program called the Giving Tree.
Okay.
And so we look at specific pillars, food insecurity, youth supporting youth programs, financial literacy, homelessness, and another one is veterans, right? So which is really important to us. Not to get overly but our military does a great job of training our men and women to be soldiers, sailors, and et cetera. They don't
Marines,
always,
we don't leave the Marines.
Well, I said et cetera. I said et cetera. I said et cetera. But they don't necessarily do the best job of reacclimating, especially our combat veterans.
Right.
And so an organization that we're very involved in is Veterans Inc. And we just had a bunch of volunteers, about 20 of us. For those who might not be familiar, Veterans Inc. hosts a community holiday harvest event where the Tuesday before Thanksgiving, veterans in need can come and buy. It's like a big farmer's market, and basically with a personal shopper, depending on how many people in the family, get all the fixings for a holiday dinner, and which otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford or enjoy. And to go there and to, help and talk to the veterans that are in need, it's a very humbling experience.
Right. And it's not the type of thing that's a one and done. You've been committed to that. Bank Hometown's been committed to that project for a while now.
Oh, I forget how many years we're, So, and matter of fact, Tuesday's the fun day. We actually send a group of people on the Monday before because all the food just doesn't show up and get on the shelves. Someone has to take all that food and sort it and make sure it's all ready to go. Yeah. So we do that too. So so we do that, and then we also support the stand down event, which is in June. So
that's an important event where kind of veterans can come and access a whole bunch of different services and goods and needs as needed.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
The other element which we were talking about a little while back, I think at a chamber meeting or some event we were at together, is the Traveling Vietnam Memorial that's going to be coming this way. Yeah,
so thanks for bringing that up. So as I mentioned, we have 15 locations, 10 are in Central Mass, 5 are in Northeast Connecticut. And Northeast Connecticut in a lot of ways feels like, at least to me, we're connected economically, right? So when I talk about Putnam, Connecticut, it's not like the other side of the world, right? So to your point, a group of veterans down there have basically arranged so that the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall will be coming to Putnam, and I don't know I can't remember the exact dates, but it'll be just before and just after 9/11. Right. So I know that obviously two separate conflicts, 9/11 and the Vietnam Memorial Wall, but it'll be the 25th anniversary of 9/11, and so we're expecting as many as 20,000 people to come and visit that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really kind of an incredible experience. I know occasionally it's made its way to New England, but it literally goes around the country.
Correct.
And it is really a very worthy facsimile of the Vietnam Memorial Wall that's actually in Washington, D.C. And what I think people talk about that make it so powerful is literally the names and basically kind of the years in which they lost their lives in Vietnam are on the wall, and people come and etch and come and look for a certain name and leave things. It really is something.
Well, I remember one of the first things that you and I ever worked on was the playground up on the pool up at the
Dennis Shine pool. And you were helpful in getting the funding for the scoreboard for the Little League, Garrick Little League. But the Dennis Shine pool, state pool, and 19 years old, gave his life for our country in Vietnam. Well, that's going to be. We'll look forward to having you or members of the team on to talk about that visit to Putnam, Connecticut, and as you said, very close with a lot of our chamber Central Mass.
30-minute drive down 395.
Bank Hometown. People go on the website, learn more programs, things, accounts, different things you can do for businesses.
Yeah, I mean, once again, we have two locations here in Worcester, one in Grove Street, one at the corner of Providence and Millbury Street, across from the Super Walmart. So we have a couple of convenient locations, and then all around. And then feel free to call me. I mean, I'm accessible.
Rob Morton, and that site on 146 and Providence Street there. You were a pioneer. We got a hotel coming in, housing development. I was in the planning board the other day, so making things happen on lots of levels. Rob Morton, CEO of Bank Hometown, thanks for being with us. We're going to come back for our next segment.
These days, you've got your hands full in life. That's why we help you bank simply and securely with tools like Face ID and Touch ID. It's why we make it easy to make purchases on the go and get cash back while you're at it. Why we help you quickly deposit checks wherever you are. And it's why we lend a hand with sending and receiving money right from your phone. So even when you're on the move, you can manage your finances. Bank Hometown. Unlock your potential.